Kokoafricatv. African Union 2020 theme is silencing guns across Africa. And how do we control gun violence? Hi, you're welcome to Coco African TV, and I am your host, Kokoafricatv. Today I have a very great honorable across the country, Nigeria, who is going to be speaking to us and educating us on the economical, social, and ethnic conflicts across Africa. Sir, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Can we meet you?
My name is Desmond Elliot. I'm a member representing Surulere at the Lagos State House of Assembly.
Nice meeting you, sir. So how do we control the ethnical conflict across Africa?
For one, ethnicity is a very unique theme in Africa. How the Europeans and the Western people have been able to handle and manage ethnic issues is one that is almost like a mirage when it comes to Africa. That's not to say you don't have ethnic problems or violence. In the Americas, for instance, in North America, you still have the Indian clan, that's the West Indian clan, still having the American Indians, still having issues amongst themselves and with the European people who have come to settle. So it's not unique to Africa alone. The only problem is how we manage it and how we handle things as Africans. We are very violent about it. So is it a problem? Yes. And it's across Africa, as a matter of fact. Can it be controlled? I believe so. So if your question is how do we control ethnic violence, without talking too much about what government needs to do, is the fact that government has a lot to do. And that is in promoting oneness. And the fact that every ethnic group that forms a country is together for a reason, not because they chose to, but it could have been by virtue of common goals. So government needs to sell the idea of oneness, which we cannot do away with. And the beauty in being complex is another thing we also need to sell. And the beauty in letting a particular ethnic tribe having a great
opportunity,
yes,
political opportunity.
You understand? Because at the end of the day, you must be seen in a nation that has diverse ethnic groups as one. So everybody must also partake in having a say on how they are being governed.
So when you're talking about the oneness, the political oneness and political opportunities, we know what they call zoning. This is very common in Nigeria.
Yes.
What they call zoning. Can you define what zoning is and the effect of zoning across the communities and the people in Nigeria?
Okay, let me start nationwide. Zoning came as a result of zoning, catchment, whatever it is, came as a result of the fact that it was government's plan to try and get every sector of the country to have a say into power or in power, or to be able to contribute their own quota when they are in power, so that a particular ethnic group is not the only one that rules for long because they are a majority, so to speak. That was basically the reason. If that is what is being practiced today, it's a totally different story entirely. It's not totally practiced today in that way, sadly. But I feel is that a whole lot needs to be done. A whole lot needs to be done. We still have ethnic minorities. The unfortunate, that was the major aim for zoning and having different catchment areas, so that everybody gets to partake of it. But like I said, it's not always the case, and it's not perfectly done as well.
Because these things does it really rotate accordingly to the plan? Because most of this conflict we have in within communities are caused by insatisfaction of those people, the citizens. For example, there's some people that could be ruled their own zone time. They only ruled for like 6 years. Some ruled for like 4 years. Some never had the opportunity, and this has been the cost of most of the grievances they have. So, what do you think should be done to at least there should be something to correct this? Is it that people should be having 3 years or a particular tenure for their position, political position, so that people can be satisfied? Don't you think so?
You see, unfortunately, zoning is not doing us great service. I'll give you an instance. If you're in America, George Bush was running in Texas as president. His brother came out in Florida to run as well. Nobody said, oh, that's a Bush. You understand? He's supposed to be in Texas. Why did he run to Florida to run? You understand? We need to start seeing ourselves beyond where we are from. I always take pride personally because I'm from a Western descent. My dad, from the West rather, Western part of Nigeria. My dad is Yoruba, my mom is Igbo. I grew up in the North and my wife is Akwa Ibom. So I have a North, South, East and West background.
Okay.
And with that, I understand the different complexity in all these cultures and what makes us common. The beauty in being unique. Now, unfortunately, our forefathers, dating far back as Amadou Bello and way beyond, Nnamdi Azikiwe's, Awolowo's of those days, already divided the country for us. So that dichotomy is what we are still suffering today. Even now that we don't care which music we are listening to, I can listen to Sunny Danger's music or Flavor or even Olamide. It don't matter to me now. But you see, at the end of the day, when it wants to become political, then I say, where is he from? Where is she from? Where is this from? Now, those who are not satisfied, which are sometimes the minority, who can even have the man that can answer the nation's problems, is from a minority place, and he knows he can never, ever, except by faith, that God kills the president and the vice president, maybe he's the Senate president and now becomes the president. Those are the mathematics you have to start calculating in your head. But you see, by the time it becomes a country of let the best man win, you understand? But I don't see it happening. Now, without trying to be political, I don't see it happening where the best man wins. It's the best region that has the highest number of votes, that wins. It brings down a whole lot. If the social media is not, if we don't also sell, I'm not saying control, if we don't also sell the right thinking, the right thoughts, you understand?
Yeah.
Because we just leave everything to the negativity alone. So the children who are growing or the youth who is growing is only grasping, oh, I must be rich overnight. Oh, I must, like Mr. A is having, and you see everything you post on social media is just a great thing happening in your life. Plus more. You never post the negative things. You never post the fact that, oh, something happened, you are broke, your account is red. It doesn't happen. It is when you manage to take a picture close to a jet, private jet, or you are sitting in the private jet, and then you just make those at home just say, wow, me too, I want to also feel like this. I want to be there. So we begin to create the wrong image to people. But we've forgotten that godliness with contentment is great gain. You understand?
So this is why people go get guns and...
Yes, because you want to be like the Joneses. You want to be like the next person. And you want a quick way to get it.
So do you know the effect of this gun abuse, gun violence? Most of them is like suicide. There's some people that have guns, they kill themselves with guns, and they commit all this.
Well, incidentally, we don't have that case here in this country. We don't like killing ourselves like that. It's not too common that a Nigerian man.
An African man.
No, let me speak for Nigeria first. Let me speak for Nigeria. That a Nigerian man will carry gun and shoot him.
I'm so unhappy. I'm not comfortable.
Kill yourself. That's what happened. But the case is getting really bad these days. Because they don't have so much access to gun, to firearms. There are other ways, depression, that leads to you committing suicide. It's a different topic on its own. But getting access to firearms to commit suicide is not as rampant a situation, as we have in other crimes.
Or you can get access to firearms to commit robbery.
Yes, firearms mostly is to commit something, very, very.
Common. What do you think is really common in Africa?
It's firearms for robbery, kidnapping, vices, but not to inflict harm on yourself. No, it's not. The African man, he thinks so.
At least,
kill himself.
At least nobody wants to die in Africa. But what do you say about out-of-school children across Africa? Those students that have not had the opportunity. What do you think that
I weep for the next 5 years. I weep for the next 5 years in Africa, especially in a big, great nation like Nigeria. I cannot tell you categorically in the next 5 years we'll be manufacturing things that we can export. I can't tell you we're doing that. I can't tell you there'll be homes and social welfare, all those things you dream about and you see only in foreign worlds. I can't tell you all these things are happening in the next 5 years. But I can tell you this. There'll be worse people glorifying negative things. People seeing negativity as the order of the day. People having enough disrespect for their elders, things that are not known. As strong a nation as South Korea is, I'm telling you, the way they respect their elders are just the same way we do here in Africa. And they still maintain it till tomorrow. The culture. The reason America is still strong today is because of the foundation of the people that built America. We are losing all of that today. The Yoruba culture. You want to greet your parents? In those days, you prostrate. You lie flat. Or you bend down at least to show respect to your parents. Your parents are talking to you, you put your hands behind you. That is our culture. It's our culture. When you're talking to somebody, you say for an elderly person. The Ibibios have their own culture, how they do. But in all, it's called respect. You see, all of this, you see, the social problems we have today starts from the home. That is destroyed. That is destroyed. So, we must start building the country from the home. And unless government takes that seriously and allocate enough resources and training of teachers, counselors, and all of these people that are very important, even parents teachers associations, they should start pushing it so that in the next 8-10 years, it's not a quick fix. It didn't spoil overnight and it's not going to be fixed today. Corruption is a huge one too. Even me as a politician, trust me, God help you the day you leave the house and you are not with some cash. Because somehow you must, hey, how are you? Take. How are you? Take. How are you? Poverty is one of it. Corruption is another. They won't open the gate for you sometimes until you have seen them. So it's a very damning situation.
So this should be the
Kokoafricatv.